Hi, crafty friends. Are you guys ready for 3 projects? Well, first up, we have these cute little containers that I got at Christmas. Ended up not using them, but I love the lids because they have a little scalloped edge. So I thought, let's pair it with this candle holder that I got at the Dollar Tree and make a fun little riser out of this. So I was like, okay, how am I going to center this? So I just took this pencil that I have and just kind of drew around it. And then that way, when we go to glue it down, we'll be center-ish. Not perfectly center, but center-ish. Y'all know I'm not a measurer, so you know that happens. So a little E6000 first, and we're going to add a little bit of hot glue as well, and then we will just put that on there. Now, it is super, super cold here, like freezing cold. So I couldn't spray paint this project, but what I decided to do was just take some chalk paint and go ahead and put a couple of coats on that because I really want to highlight this little scalloped edge. So I thought, let's put a couple coats of white. I know I normally don't use white paint, but I want to try a couple of, well, a little bit of distressing, but then I want to use some rub and buff on this also. So, you know, when you're painting plastic, you got to have a couple of coats on there. And then sometimes what I do, especially if it's something that I'm going to be like moving around a lot more high traffic, is so I actually put a coat of Mod Podge over the top just to kind of like seal it in. So totally up to you. But once we get the paint on there, I'm also going to paint the underneath of this because I want all of that red to disappear. Listen, this would have been, friends, so much easier with spray paint, but that's okay. So we're going to use some distressing spray. I'm going to use the gold color, and I'm going to go on the top and on the sides and then the base of this as well. And I was even thinking, I know this is not food safe, but if you found those cute little paper doilies, you could put that on the top of this and then put like cupcakes on it or muffins or something just to make it super fun and decorative like for your kitchen, but totally up to you. So now that that's all dry, again, we're going to take some of my favorite rub and buff, and we are just going to go along that scalloped edge. I also decided to do the top edge of this as well, and then kind of down on the base. So I got a little crazy with it, but that's okay because y'all know I love gold accents. Just love them so much. So a couple times I got them on a lot. So I just kind of used my finger there with my gloves and just kind of rubbed it in a little bit. And again, just have fun with this part because this is where really going over all of those little parts really makes it pop when you add the rub and buff on it. Look how adorable this is. So up next, project number 2. So we're going to do another riser-ish. So I got these wooden candlesticks from the Dollar Tree, and then these little, like, I think, would you call them like a cloche, terrarium cloche, maybe? I don't know. Words are hard today. But again, if I could go spray paint, this would have been a lot easier because I could have taken that plastic base and spray painted it with the top. But since I couldn't do that, I thought, well, let's just take the shine off of the base. So I'm using some sandpaper here, and we're just going to go all around it just to take that shine off. Now, I did all the way around, and then I also took my little nail file and went right around the edge because that glass part, not glass part, it's plastic, it's not glass, will slip right over that, right, and hold it in. So that way I thought, oh, this is perfect. I love using nail files when we're sanding and we need to get into spots that we can't get with just regular old sandpaper. So once we do this, then we are going to add some hot glue and E6000 if you wanted to, totally up to you. And we are going to put these two together. So then I was like, okay, well, what do we want to put in here? I want it to be something spring and kind of fun because like I said, we still have snow on the ground and it's like the frozen tundra out there. So why not go to spring? That's where my brain is. I had also gotten those little styrofoam bunnies that you can see sitting there at the top a while back. And I was like, oh, we're using these. So again, they're styrofoam. And I thought, let's put rub and buff on. Let's see what happens. I'd never tried it before, but why not? So I just put a little bit on my finger, and guys, it turned out so stinking cool. I love it. It almost looks like the bunny is textured underneath the Rub and Buff, which I love that. So I went ahead and grabbed one of the tumbling tower blocks that, Dollar Tree has. And I thought, oh, let's put that on the base and then we can set the bunny on top of it. And that way it'll raise it up just a little bit. After I did it, I kind of thought, man, maybe I should have done 2 tumbling towers just to make them stand up a little bit, because we're going to put some dried stuff in there just to kind of like hide the base of it. But I forgot to video the part where I put the tumbling tower block down and then painted it. That's the part and I went ahead and just painted it black because I just wanted it to just kind of blend away into nothing. But put that down, painted that black, and then we'll start adding everything on the top. We'll do the little bit of hot glue and add some of the dried moss right there. And then we'll put that plastic back over the top. And what a fun little easy way to upcycle and make something new. So on to project number 3. And friends, for this one, I got this egg at the Dollar Tree. And as soon as I saw it, because it's like a shelf sitter, it'll sit all by itself. I was like, oh, no, we're turning this into a riser. So I'm going to paint it pink. And I'm not really worried, honestly, about it getting a thick coat because we're going to do some sanding over the top of this. This is just going to be super duper simple. But I love to use different things for risers. And for this, you can probably see them sitting in the bottom right-hand corner. Those are those little wooden snowmen that I got at the Dollar Tree during the holiday times. If you turn them upside down, you can't tell that they're snowmen anymore. They just look like really cool little risers. If you got any of those or any of the trees, they had Christmas trees, turning those upside down as well work great. You could use beads if you wanted. There's so many different things that you can do with the risers. I'm also going to paint the edges of what is this called? That's an egg. Friends, does your brain do that? Yeah, mine totally doesn't. And then once I started hot gluing the little riser parts to this, the little feet, snowmen, I was like, oh, wait, I didn't take the sticker off of the bottom and I didn't paint the bottom. So then after I got it all done, I had to take the sticker off and then go paint it because I wanted to make sure that everything looked really great. But here are those little snowmen that we're going to use as the feet. And like I said, when you turn them upside down, can't even tell. So for the egg, I'm just going to use 3. I don't think we really need any more than that, and that will be nice and sturdy. And these little risers, friends, they are great for decorating. They're great just to have in your kitchen to put stuff on, in your bathroom, just so many fun things. So here's that part where I was like, oh, I forgot to paint this part, but that's okay. So we're going to get these on there, and then, like I said, we are going to do some sanding because I thought it would be fun just to kind of distress the edges a little bit, just to, not give it a ton of distressing, but just enough, because I kind of liked some of that color coming through. Since that pink is so pale, I thought that would be super cute. So here we go. We're going to flip that little guy over. Oh, then I was like, oh, wait, I see a spot where I didn't get when I was painting. Y'all do this too? Where you're like, oh, wait, how did I not see that part? But we're going to go ahead. Oh, and then the edge there as well. Yeah, that's me. Just willy-nilly. But anyways, so once that's all dry, then I'm just going to take the sandpaper and clean that all up. And friends, 3 projects, super duper easy, super cost effective, which y'all know I love that so much. And it's just a fun way to add decor to your house at not a big price tag, which that is my favorite. And the great part about these crafts too, once we're done with these, we could recycle them into something else. Subscribe for more.